He's a rational investor, dividend digester. Saves some of his paycheck just like all his ancestors. Him looking for high yields, that's never the case. He's seeking 6% return. Slow and steady wins the race. We pay our debts in our currency that might be unfurled if it's no longer the reserve currency of the world. Confidence in the dollar is permanent. Just ask any scholar. People are exchanging their dollars for dog money. Dog money? Dog money. Dog money. We trading it in for dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. Dog money. I'm putting it all in dog money.
Yes, indeed. Some people are putting all of their money into dog money. Welcome to Satoshi's Bitcoin Chart Show. This is the Bitcoin forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network, where we find out what's up with what is going down. Today's date is Saturday, the 2nd of October, 2021. Let's begin and jump straight into these figures. Here we go, rock and roll. Starting from left to right, looks like they've changed the order here. So starting from the left, we've got Coin BTC SegWit protocol, centrally owned, planned and controlled by Blockstream ever since they turned BTC into an altcoin by changing the protocol, implementing SegWit, segregating the signatures on the chain, meaning they're accountable to nobody, turning BTC from a commodity into a security and crashing its fundamental value to zero, but that was always their intention anyway. And then we've got Bcrash, again, centrally owned, planned and controlled by Roger Ver and his crony mates who tamper with the protocol every 6 months. Then we've got Fisher Price Cash, what an absolute joke that is. And then we've got Bitcoin, which is BSV, the original protocol. It goes right back to the Genesis block. It hasn't changed, making it the real Bitcoin, the true Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin, and the world's first and only ever digital commodity, backed by the value of data sovereignty, making it the most valuable commodity on Earth. Yes, indeed. So let's have a look at the figures on Coin then. So we've got hash rate 98.6, network nodes 93.4, transactions 30.9, block size 0.5. Oh, that would never fail to amuse me. So when you consider that BTC obviously started out as Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, something has clearly gone wrong. So we'll just let our favourite douchebag of Bitcoin, Pete McCormack, try and explain that to us right now. Take the floor, Pete, if you'd be so kind.
Bitcoin is so different now from when Satoshi was here.
Yeah, well, when Satoshi was here, Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. How far away from that are we now?
It's a completely different project.
And what would Satoshi have to say about that?
It doesn't matter who Satoshi is anymore.
And what if he came back and said something like, what the hell do you think you're doing, effing up my project?
Even if Satoshi came back, I don't think he would just be immediately welcomed as having this God-given right to decide what happens with Bitcoin. I think he would have to earn his right back into the project.
And he's right back into the project. I just thought you said it was nothing like Bitcoin. It's a completely different project, and it didn't matter who Satoshi Nakamoto was anymore. This makes no sense whatsoever. So in your opinion, what's this alternative project based on now then?
Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Consensus? Do you know what proof of work is? Do you understand the significance of a chain of signatures? Did you even bother to read the white paper? Blockstream implemented SegWit on the 24th of August 2017, segregating the signatures on the chain, meaning they were accountable to nobody, bringing it under their centralized control, meaning there is no consensus because it's a centralized project and fundamentally worthless. You absolute goon. But because you make me laugh, I'll let you have one more go at trying to convince me.
Project Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Are you sure about that, Pete? Because it didn't sound like it to me. And then we've got Bcrash. So Roger, tell us your expectations for your centralized project. That is Bcrash.
And we're going to really spread Bitcoin Crash across the entire country here in Antigua.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate. And what do you say to all those multinational corporations that do billions, if not trillions of dollars of global trade on an annual basis, that say they need a regulatory compliant monetary system in order to do so?
The ones that say that the blockchains all need to be legally compliant about everything all the time, just go use your Visa card.
Yeah, because that's going to work. Fisher Price Cash, I can't even believe that is they've changed the position there. But we've got Bitcoin, the genuine Bitcoin hash rate just 0.2%, network nodes are 1.08, transactions though 55.7, and block size 99.3, absolutely huge. So we'll just have a quick word with the creator of Bitcoin, Dr. Craig Wright, to find out his expectations for it. So Craig, tell us, what do you want from Bitcoin?
I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin.
And when you strip it all down to the bare bones, is that it?
That's it. And that's what we spend money for. Very simple.
Loving that. Let me help out and I'll stick my foot right in. So as you can see with the transactions 55 and block size 99.3, let me show you why I find this quite funny. Bitcoin mining operations compete to process data transactions on chain. No transactions, no use, no use, no value, no value, no money. The most valuable chain is the chain with the most utility on it. BTCs are utter clowns. So Craig, can you tell us what else can we expect from Bitcoin in the future?
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts, basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, with payment channels, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
It means that sounds absolutely amazing. So let's have a look at these blocks flowing through the chain. But before we do that, we'll just bring Michael Saylor onto the show to bring us our usual dose of positivity. So Michael, tell us, what do you say to people like Pete McCormack who think that Bitcoin should be changed and messed around with and just tampered with?
I like Bitcoin the way it is.
Oh, so do we, Michael, so do we. But we really like it. How do you compete with that?
In fact, I love Bitcoin the way it is.
All right, mate, calm down, calm down. Well, you can't just leave it there. You're going to have to explain yourself. Tell us, what is it about Bitcoin that you love so much?
The way it's currently constructed, it is possible to put all $250 trillion of monetary energy.
Wow, $250 trillion of monetary energy. Where's that going to go?
In big blocks of encrypted energy on the blockchain.
They do sound like big blocks. What sort of numbers are we talking about?
Maybe the Bitcoin will be 1 million. You can probably calculate $10 million of Bitcoin or something.
Wow, $10 million per Bitcoin or something. I mean, how's it going to fit and where's it going to go?
Big blocks, $100 million chunks on the blockchain.
Is that right? Let's have a look at these big blocks just for you then, Michael Sunshine. So calling out the megabyte blocks, we've got 5. Oh, what's this? Unknown and unknown Dutch mining small blocks, stealing them off via BTC, no doubt. Well, anyway, 179, 262, 8, 419, 775, 1, 919, 103, 13, 19, 341, 52, 1, 1, 131, 217, 445, 5, 313, 217. Oh, well, and that's it. Well, I say that's it. Certainly varied blocks in there this morning. Interesting to look at. Fisher Price Cash, yep, struggling to get all of their blocks over a kilobyte, let alone anywhere near a megabyte. And a B Crash, one block over a megabyte for them. Nice one, Roger. And dear, oh dear, look at this BTC Core Coin. How many blocks have they got over a megabyte today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks over a megabyte out of a column of 30. Dear, oh dear. That is bad. That is bad. There's no value in any of that whatsoever. And for sooner or later, the truth will be revealed. Oh, yeah. Hash rate follows price, follows value, follows utility, follows creativity, initiative, and intelligence. If you are intelligent and you apply creativity and initiative, you can make something useful. When something is useful, it can then create value. When it creates value, it can then develop a price. When it develops a price, it can then be measured against the cost of other goods and services and used as a medium of exchange. Boom. Next. Proof of work by network, Corecoin, Bcrash, Fisher Price Cash will fall into their own footprints because that's what Ponzi schemes do when they crash overnight. What is this? They've moved everything around. So it's currently 4,380 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than it is a Corecoin or any of these alternative protocols, shitcoins if you will. And it's currently 12.3% more profitable to mine on Bitcoin. That's probably due to the block fees that are coming through. Fantastic. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. Look at that. Bitcoin absolutely smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. My goodness me. Daily Bitcoin transactions by network, Bitcoin winning. Transactions per block by network, Bitcoin winning. Fees USD. Again, USD is speculative and utterly worthless anyway. Fees Satoshis, that's more like it. Bitcoin smashing it. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. That would probably be why it's more profitable to mine it, because of the fees in the block. Daily Bitcoin fees to block reward ratio. So again, if you're wondering what this red line is going to look like, let me show you. The red line will be this solid blue line here. So as the block reward continues to get cut in half every 210,000 blocks, the number or the volume of transactions and people using the network will increase steadily, which means the fees in the block will increase eventually to surpass the block reward, and then we have an economically self-sustaining system. It is absolutely phenomenal. So let's have a look at what's this? Daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. Look at that. Look at these numbers here. Look at this. So they've got 1 gigabyte and then it goes up to 10 gigabytes. Do you know why they've done that? They've done that to make it look like Bitcoin isn't shooting ahead of the others. Look at the proportions. 100 to 1,000 and then 1,000 to 10,000 gigabytes. They've done it on purpose to make the chart look not so impactful. Nice one, Coin.Dance. So now we know why they've done it. So they've moved Bitcoin right to the far end on the right, and now they've done this to make it look like it's insignificant. Honestly, shitcoiners might not know what this, but I mean, you've got to be really dumb, not to really understand the significance of what you're looking at here. But at least we know now that it's nefarious. They've purposely done it to make it look less impactful. Dear, oh dear. Let's have a look at this on the proportional chart and see if they've changed that as well. No. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. You cannot change the all chart. What's this year today? 6 months. Where are we now? How big is the chain? The chain is currently, wow. So I think that was 1.9 terabytes yesterday. Now it's 1.2. 1.09 to 1.2. So it's gone up. It's gone up over 10 gigabytes in 24 hours. That's massive. Yeah, that is really significantly big. Let's get into the politics then. So global hash rate 7 days. Yeah. Global hash rate 24 hours. Ample turning it up. So that's going to look similar to Coin. It's got 98% of the hash rate. B crash again. What an absolute joke. These boys have got no excuse whatsoever because they haven't even been hoodwinked by the ticker symbol. So look, just unbelievably stupid. Oh, look at that. And they've got Fisher Price cash. I mean, look at that. You can see how ridiculous that protocol is. And then finally we've got Bitcoin. So they've pushed it right to the left hand side and then they've chucked it right at the bottom as well. So it's to try and make it look insignificant. This is hilarious. So Tau 40%, SV Pool 24. Good to see them doing well. Hathor Merge Mining back on the case. Dutch Mining and Via BTC still trying to get in there, hanging on. And then we've got other mining pools. Not sure who they are, but time will tell. Still playing a significant part in the network there. So the reason we're trying to push all these other shitcoin enterprises off the chain is because the only thing they understand is dollar worshipping, which leads to price manipulation, which we will look at now in the short positions. But let's just see how far ahead we are in front. There we go. So 900 gigabytes in front. So literally we're just 100 gigabytes away from being an entire terabyte in front of Coin. I mean, a terabyte in size is just absolutely huge. Huge. Alright, short positions then. Here we go. So where are we now? So 90% short positions on the genuine Bitcoin protocol. What a joke. And Coin were the short positions. So 3.5% short positions on Coin, even though it's a centralized project and fundamentally absolutely worthless. That's hilarious. I mean, literally, it doesn't take much to do a bit of research and figure it all out for yourself, really. And Bitcoin blocks live. Here we go. So for any newbies who are watching this for the first time, the vertical rectangular blocks moving across the top of the screen are the transactions being recognized by the nodes on the network. And the transactions are recognized instantly the moment they're broadcast because Bitcoin is an ultra small world mandala network shaped like this. It means as the size of the network increases, the density of the links goes to zero, making it ultra small, well then highly sparse respectively. The network formulation can lead to an improved topology against malicious attacks, so it's hard to take down. So this is, whenever you see a mesh network, whenever you see douchebags of Bitcoin trying to describe Bitcoin to you, and they have it in the shape of a mesh network covering a country, it's not a mesh network. It needs to look like this. It's a mandala network. It's one of the most efficient constructs in the world. It's amazing. It's amazing. So once the transactions are broadcast and recognized by more than 50% of the nodes on the network, which is instantly, they're then thrown into the memory pool, which is where they're competed for by miners and payment processors. In order to create a block, put the transaction within a block and then place the block on the blockchain, which is when they're rewarded with the Coinbase data, otherwise known as the block reward, otherwise known as freshly minted Bitcoin, along with the block fees. So you can see we've got a 2 gigabyte block here, mined by unknown miner, and in the highlighted rectangular box below that, we've got the hash of the block height, who it was mined by, size, the time, the date, the transaction count, and total fees in the block. Total fees were $650 there. Let's have a quick look at what's on chain. So it was a 4.9 BSV. So again, the block reward is currently 6.25. So again, it just needs to be higher than that in order for it to be a self-sustaining system. So it won't take long. But while we're here, we'll just let Laura Shin and Dan Held explain the significance of fees in the block right now. Take the floor if you'd be so kind.
So, as you mentioned, at a certain point when the block reward stops, there will be a transition where miners will be compensated in transaction fees, not in the block reward. And the current amount that they earn is from fees is about 9% of the block reward. And so we'd have to see transaction fees 11x by roughly 2140, which is when the new Bitcoins will stop being minted. But I just wondered, if we don't see an increase in the amount of transactions that can happen at layer one, because the number of layer one transactions is limited. And right now, I feel like a lot of the scaling is focusing on layer two. Can transaction fees 11x in that time, or will that require people to pay a lot more per transaction?
Over the next couple halving cycles, we should see it start to predominantly be the value that is compensated to the miners in the block reward. If Bitcoin is the world reserve currency that doesn't have a strong security model, like there's not a lot of monetary compensation in the block reward due to transaction fees, well, then its long-term security will be weak. If it is the world reserve currency, there will be very, very many layer one transaction fees.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you think it is possible that the amount in transaction fees will maybe not be enough on layer one to replace the block reward when the time comes.
Absolutely, there won't be enough to replace the block reward when the time comes, because the block has been purposely restricted to 1 megabyte on BTC. What an absolute joke. Do you honestly think a network that could only handle 4 to 7 transactions per second due to the 1 megabyte size was honestly meant to economically sustain all of this lot? Look at this. This is the backbone to the new global financial system. It is the world's first ever commercial internet. It is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Honestly, 4 to 7 transactions a second is absolutely laughable. Makes you realise what an absolute joke it is, and you've got to be really stupid to not see the disconnect between the size here and the capability. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at BitInfo charts then. So where are we on transactions? Only 12.5. Dear oh dear. But anyway, we know that Ethereum and XRP are fundamentally worthless anyway. And we'll just listen to David Schwartz, the Chief Technical Officer at Ripple Labs, explain that XRP is a security and fundamentally worthless right now. Take the floor, David Schwartz.
The XRP is a digital asset. It's censorship resistant. It's publicly traded. It trades on the XRP ledger. Ripple does not own or control the XRP ledger in any way.
Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
So how did Ripple then get all the XRP that it has? It has about half the supply. So just how did that particular transaction happen?
Good question. How did Ripple Labs end up with half the supply of 100 billion XRP?
So the way its design works is when the ledger first began operation, the 100 billion XRP, all that will ever exist, were sort of up for grabs.
And remind me to have a look up the economic theory of being sort of up for grabs.
And lots of people grabbed XRP out of that system, but it just so happens that obviously, just like early miners mined, huge amounts of Bitcoin before the public knew about it or was using it.
No, mining is a competitive system.
Early XRP users grabbed large amounts of that pool of XRP.
And grabbing is not.
And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Because they grabbed it. One more time, David.
And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
What an absolute joke. And Ethereum being a security.
You just described some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token,
start the Ether presale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether presale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether. Where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
About 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now.
Myself leading the protocol design.
And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
Partially in order to better flesh out the business plan, partially in order to better flesh out the terms, partially for legal reasons.
Absolutely brilliant. Nice one, Vitalik. Talk about putting your foot in it. Let's have a look at transactions, just for any newbies who are looking at information and stuff like that. Oh, transactions just dipping off a little bit. But remember, this was sort of like towards the end of August this year. And Ethereum's had years and years on the genuine Bitcoin, because genuine Bitcoin literally only came into, got its original protocol back on the 15th of November 2018. Oh my goodness me. So we're now 2021. Can't believe that how time has flown. But look at that. We have surpassed quite substantially XRP and Ethereum, which are fundamentally worthless anyway. So come on, Bitcoin. Come on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Scaling testnet, just checking the figures here. Yeah, so biggest block on the scaling test network is 4.4 gigabytes. But Terranode should be operating very soon. Looking forward to that. And BSV data, check it out. So Meta ID producing 12.08 gigabytes in 24 hours. That's huge. Run protocol, 1 gigabyte. And a sensible contract. Well, I wonder what these things do. Bitcom protocol, BCAT protocol, MetaNet protocol. They all add up. Very looking forward to the future. As always. And let's have a look at applications. So let's see where Crypto Fights is. So we want daily data size is the most important one. Showbuzz at the top. That's huge. And then so Showbuzz has actually pushed Crypto Fights down to second place. 1.2 gigabytes in a 24-hour period. Just look at the size of these things. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, look at all these protocols and all the data they're producing. Very good. Very good. Alright, and let's have a look at trends.cash. Oh, anything to show us this morning, trends.cash? We know we normally have apps ranking by money spent and then apps ranking by performed actions. No, dear, we're going to have to move on then. Crypto Quants, so look at this. So all the exchanges were cashing out all last year. The squeeze in the liquidity and a spike in the price caused by huge amounts of tether printing created this massive bubble. It's really not looking good. And the exchanges have been cashing out again, which is why Tether has been having to print more money, because there's no value in it whatsoever. Let's have a look at what's on chain. Good question. What is on chain? Estimated next block size 5.9 megabytes. Memory pool usage 2.6 gigabytes. That's a huge amount of data in there. Transactions over 24 hours, 469,185. Still very good in comparison to Coin BTC. Joho's memory pool. So this is what a memory pool is meant to look like. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. What a memory pool is not meant to look like is called. Look at that. Look at that. That looks absolutely horrendous. Nobody has any idea when their transaction is going to be received because they've told people not to use it. They've implemented this Lightning network. They've put in replace by fee, child pays for parent. Honestly, absolute shambles. And we can see the effect that it's had on TX Street right now. While we're looking at this, we'll have a quick chat with Adam Back, the CEO of Blockstream, and hear his expectations for a payment network.
So, fee estimation in some cases is quite bad. If you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee.
Oh, shut up. I'm not waiting 4 hours just to not pay a priority fee when I'm using a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, you fool. Median fee, 53 cents. So remember to add that onto every high-frequency trade that your company does. See how long your high-frequency trading company lasts for. And Ethereum, transfer fee, $4.45. Crazy. How do you respond to that, Vitalik?
The internet of money should not cost 5 cents a transaction. It's kind of absurd.
Yeah, it is kind of absurd. So what do you call $4.40 then? You absolute nincompoop. Dear, oh dear. M1 money supply. Oh dear, oh dear. What do we know about excessive money printing?
Statistical analysis has found that every time an empire begins to near its own demise, you'll find that its currency will be debased.
And that is exactly what we're witnessing here. So you can see that in 1950, there was just $140 billion in circulation. However, just 50 years later, in 2010, it had gone to $2 trillion. And then it only took 10 years to go from $2 trillion to $4 trillion. And then just a few months to go from $4 trillion to $16 trillion. There is literally no justification for this level of money printing unless you're trying to bribe a certain percentage of the population to look the other way while you depopulate the planet. And if you're wondering why they're going around trying to jab everybody, that's the reason. Right there. You think I'm joking? So knowing that Bitcoin is the only thing that can save us, how are we feeling about it today? CoinGecko, feeling good. 80%. Oh yeah, come on. Come on, loving that. And BitPing. So it's a money flow per hour, 84 cents. Countries 49 at the moment. Very good. So remember, this is the Bitcoin network monitoring the downtime of all the other networks. So little do all these other networks know, they will soon all be running on the Bitcoin network themselves. Absolutely amazing. And the morning run, so $1,663. The 24-hour trade volume, good. Stay away from this, people. Move fast and break stuff does not mean breaking the law, of which all these shitcoins do because they're all illegal security offerings. BSV is the only genuine digital commodity, and we've had 555,451 purchases of it over the last 24 hours. Very good. Let's have a look at live coin watch. Have a look at the depth chart. So, we're at $140 pretty much. And we've got, 7.3 million bids versus 5.2 million asks. Number go up. Loving that. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD. Yeah, look at that. So we've had a number go up against US dollar. Let's have a look at Coin versus USD. Spike in the price. No manipulation there whatsoever. Oh dear. And Coin versus Bitcoin. Oh, holding its own. Holding its own. You know, when you consider it's got such a small market cap, but like the utility is just absolutely massive. And let's have a look at the entire CMC. So we've got Coin at $47,000. Remember, it's absolutely, utterly, fundamentally worthless, as are all these other digital protocols. That's literally all they are. It's insane. They're all illegal security offerings. The only data protocol that commoditizes data is Bitcoin, which is BSV, the original protocol. And it's currently at number 53. Wow. So knowing that Coin BTC has got absolutely no fundamental value whatsoever, the question has to be asked, what makes it valuable? Well, we'll just listen to Daniel Krowitz put that question to Tony Vase right now.
Why do you think BTC is valuable?
It's valuable because it's the only unconfiscatable asset we have, and that is because that comes from its decentralization. I think Bitcoin is the only valuable crypto asset we have because of the nature of how it started in its first few years.
And when you say Bitcoin, you mean BTC, right?
Absolutely.
But are you aware that in 2017, they changed the rules so that BTC no longer follows the Bitcoin white paper?
That is not true at all.
The white paper says that there needs to be a chain of signatures.
Sure.
Okay, so that's not what we have anymore. That's how SEG would change that.
Okay, but it's still Bitcoin.
Nice one, Tony Bone. You see the kind of idiots they were having to deal with. Absolute imbeciles. And that is being complimentary. Let's have a look at Streamality. 311 followers. Good, good. And Twitch. Let's have a look at my profile. So $115. Cool, cool. 433 followers so far. And let's have a look at the Twitch statistics over the last 24 hours. Where is it? Acorn Stack, that's right. So this is probably 14 hours ago. New users 53. Oh, going up. Very good. Very good. And Ruth Eastman's epic tweet. How is she doing? Look at that. Still at 1,121. Even though I'll have to like it every day. 1,122. That should be tens of thousands by now. Arman Satoshi. How is he doing? 79.7k followers. Again, that should be well over 100,000 by now. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at stablecoin printer. That's not very stable about reporting tether printers, but look at this. USDC, USDC, USDC. Oh my goodness me. So 87 million, 97 million, and another 87 million. All within 24 hours. That is absolutely insane. So, I mean, we could sort of round it up to $300 million they printed. Good grief. So $1/3 billion in 24 hours, and that's USDC. Absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at whale alerts then. So again, if it's not Tether, it's USDC. It's just going to be another stablecoin. An absolute scam. So what's this? Transfer to unknown wallet to unknown wallet. Oh dear, people transferring USDT. Absolutely fundamentally worthless. Look at this. More ETH being transferred. ETH. Yeah, $141 million. It's going somewhere. Oh dear. XRP, yeah. So 13 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours. What's this? More XRP being unlocked. Look at that, 100 million XRP. Just dumping it on these shitcoiners who are just buying it up. Absolutely hilarious. So half a billion dollars transferred from Ripple Escrow wallet to unknown wallet. They just want to sell it. Honestly, it's absolutely and utterly worthless. And they're just getting like, $500 million for it. Like literally snake oil. Absolutely hilarious when you think about it. I mean, unbelievable. 20, here we go, 23, and we're there 1st of October, and that was yesterday. There we go. Shout out to Arcade Rob. Thank you for joining me in the house. So he says, any idea why BSV transaction amount has dropped? I'd say it's probably due to crypto fights, maybe. I would guessing, but couldn't see anything on trends.cash, so it wasn't really showing us. But yeah, that would be my guess if I had to take one. So there we go, up to date with the figures. Hope you enjoyed the show. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamality, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at Tonic Pow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.